Johnny Depp and Amber Heard are currently facing a defamation suit. For those who are unfamiliar, Depp is suing his ex-wife for $50 million in connection with an article she wrote for the Washington Post, in which she claimed to be a victim of domestic violence. Despite the fact that she did not name him, the actor, who has repeatedly denied any abuse, stated that it ruined his reputation. After a brief pause, the high-profile case being held in Virginia resumed for the 5th week on May 16th. During the hearing, Amber Heard testified about how Depp physically assaulted her during their honeymoon. The actress also stated that she loved him, and thus did not want to file criminal charges against him at the time. Amber Heard told the jury in court on Monday, May 16th, that she believed she would have died if she had stayed married to Johnny Depp. She did, however, express her affection for him. "I was so scared that it was going to end really badly for me. At the time, it felt like the hardest thing I've ever had to do." Divorce was mentioned. "I tried everything I could to make this relationship work. I was scared it was going to end badly," she explained. She said that she hated leaving him, and he was her absolute favorite. Amber Heard has frequently accused Johnny Depp of physical abuse. During the court hearing, the actress claimed that he assaulted her on their honeymoon as well. This occurred while the ex-couple was on the Orient Express train in Asia following their February 2015 wedding. Amber claimed that Depp struck her and grabbed her neck while they were in their sleeper compartment. "He was squeezing my neck against the railway car for what felt like a very long time," she said. Amber recalled thinking, "He could kill me. I remember being afraid that he wouldn't do it on purpose," she said. In another case, Amber claimed that Depp became envious after she was offered a role alongside James Franco. He allegedly punched her and threw into furniture, according to her. Heard testified in court that her ex-husband would sometimes inflict self-inflicted injuries on her while screaming at her. Heard admitted to burning himself with cigarettes, contradicting Depp's previous statement that Heard blew out a cigarette on his face. "I almost called 911 in August of 2014 in New York," Heard said. "I believe because I thought he had injured himself. During fights, he would frequently cut his arms, hold his knife to his chest, or draw blood superficially at first. But later in 2016, as our relationship ended. Oh, and he also put out cigarettes on himself." Heard testified in court that he would be standing in front of her, screaming in her face, when he would light a cigarette on his own cheek. Earlier in the trial, during cross-examination of Depp, Heard's legal team attempted to undermine Depp's claims that Heard severed his finger after throwing a vodka bottle at him. They emphasized the language he used when he claimed to have cut his finger off. Depp testified that it was just a different way of saying things and rehashing the cause of the injury in messages. Heard spent her first few minutes on the stand on Monday adjusting her testimony, telling the court that the alleged abuse from Depp began earlier than she previously recalled. "I'm embarrassed to say that I would have liked to believe that the time when I fell in love with Johnny, when we fell in love and he was sober and wasn't violent to me, lasted longer than it did," Heard said. She stated that after reviewing therapy notes, she recalled earlier instances of alleged abuse that occurred as early as 2012 rather than 2013. When her attorney asked why she didn't remember these events earlier, Heard replied, "That's not how my memory works." "You know, we were together for almost 4.5 years, Heard explained. And it was a chaotic relationship at times, a very loving and emotional relationship. As one might expect, there was a lot going on, and unfortunately, violence became the norm." When Heard arrived first at the Fairfax, Virginia courthouse, a crowd outside appeared to boo and jeer the actor as she made her way inside. Depp arrived a few moments later. The crowd erupted in what appeared to be cheers as he exited a black SUV. Some called out Depp's name and the applause grew louder as the actor waved to those who appeared to be rallying behind him. As he walked into the courthouse, Depp turned to face the camera, seemingly joking that those outside were all relatives of his. Heard recalled an incident in which she claimed Depp called her friend homophobic and transphobic slurs during her testimony. Heard claimed that Depp grabbed her phone and began screaming at Wright, calling him slurs, after she called Io Tillett Wright, a close friend of hers, during a fight with Depp. Wright is a transgender man who refers to himself as he, him. Heard said, "Depp was telling Io that he can have me," screaming at him. Wright told Heard she wasn't safe on speakerphone in front of Depp, according to Heard. Heard stated that Depp had left the room. He returned to yell at Wright on the phone after hearing what Wright said, according to Heard. "Every imaginable horrible name that you can say to an LGBTQIA person, for one, and any human being ever," he began screaming at Wright, she told the court. Depp allegedly threw the phone in her face, according to reports. During this time, Heard testified that her neighbor's apartment friend, Raquel, barged in and wedged herself between the couple. According to Heard, she then tried to calm Depp as he went into a corner. Depp continued to scream at the two women until security came in to intervene, according to Heard. Depp claimed he grabbed the phone and tossed it onto the couch in the apartment before walking away from Heard during his testimony weeks prior. Depp repeatedly misgendered Wright during his testimony, saying Wright was born a female. If that's the right terminology these days, born a female, but she had decided that she was a male and she identified as a male at a young age. Heard testified that one of her most recent fights with Depp, the assault that prompted her to seek a temporary restraining order, was over his claims that she had left human feces in their bed. Depp previously testified that he believes Heard left excrement in their bed before she left for Coachella in April 2016, following a disagreement and a month apart. Heard claimed that the feces belonged to one of her dogs who had a history of bowel problems. Heard testified that the couple met again in May after Depp's mother died because Depp called and said he needed her. Depp previously testified that he called Heard to inform her of his mother's death and his desire for divorce, but Heard insisted on speaking with him in person. Heard claimed that when Depp arrived, he continued to accuse her and her friends of attempting to prank him with the feces. An audio clip of Heard saying she hit Depp went viral after it was released prior to the trial. Some have cited the clip as a smoking gun in the trial, claiming it proves Heard was violent with Depp. On the stand on Monday, Heard was asked to address the clip. Depp and Heard argued in the clip about Heard allegedly hitting Depp. "I was slamming you, I wasn't gonna punch you. You haven't been punched, babe," on the tape, Heard says. "Don't tell me what it's like to be punched," Depp responds. On the tape, Heard tells Depp that he's been around a long time and knows what it's like to be genuinely punched. On the tape, Depp accuses Heard of punching him with a closed fist. "You're fine," Heard says. "I did not hurt you, I did not punch you, I was hitting you." On the tape, Heard admits to starting the physical fight and says Depp did the right thing by leaving the room. When asked to explain what was going on in the video, Heard said she was referring to the disparity of the couple's physicality in their fights. Heard claimed Depp punched her proactively, and that she would have to reactively hit him. Heard testified that the incident depicted in the video occurred when she attempted to barricade herself in a bedroom while Depp attempted to break in. She claimed she hit Depp in an attempt to get him to leave. "I hit his arms, his body as he was trying to prevent me from closing the door," she said. "I knew what he would do to me when he got to the other side." During the Depp Heard trial, the term reactive abuse has gained in popularity. Responding to abuse in self-defense can include name-calling, physically pushing back, and other emotional outbursts, according to psychologist Betsy Usher, who specializes in treating abuse and trauma. Other experts argue that there is always a primary aggressor in theories of mutual abuse. Depp allegedly punched her while she hit him in self-defense, according to Heard. The trial of Johnny Depp and Amber Heard has captivated social media. From makeup artists, comedians, and true crime broadcasters to K-pop fans, musicians, and movie reviewers, a wide range of creators have shifted their focus to the Depp trial. In interviews, 6 creators, including Jacob, stated that the pivot enabled them to reach millions of people. That's all for today's video. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, then do like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more such exciting content. See you in the next one.